Hi guys. I'm not sure if this is an appropriate time to enter the room. The chat is just getting straight into the fucking Brokeback Expo double entendres. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to
It
another.
wasn't even that bad this year.
Welcome to a not so hobby live stream. David's flying the flag. I'm capitulating. Sort of like claiming old age and exhaustion. Uh, but yeah, it's good
Don't
to have you
fucking know
here.
why.
Let's. I don't know, 15 hours sleep over 4 days. That's about fucking right, isn't it?
I don't know why you're bitching. You got more than I fucking did, you cunt.
Right, yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream.
Not that I'm at all salty.
Oh, man, was it? Well, hello to DI 1000 UK. Yes, it was. We were right up every night. Oh my God, chat. Yeah, it was. It was like it was a real penguin day, sort of like trying to move around. But we'll get to that.
The old con shuffle.
Yeah. So for those of you who are new to the show, welcome. And if you're catching up later on YouTube, welcome as well. The first thing we'll do is we'll shout out the people in the chat. These are the genuine stars of the show. We're just a couple of pillocks who are along for the ride. So hello to some dude on YouTube, the awesome Tim from Germany. Fantastic to have you in the audience, Tim. I know that we've been clashing with your regular game night, so it's great that you could find time to pop across. That's brilliant. Hello to Pandy. That's Paul from Pandy Man.
Is he just making sure we're not going to invade him, seeing as it's like the D-Day anniversary?
It's D-Day. Oh dear. Well, technically it was France we invaded, so Tim doesn't give a shit.
Well, no, because we pushed them all the way back.
Yeah, but that's weeks away. Tim's not nervous yet. So that's Paul from Pandyman Entertainment. Hello, Paul. Hello to Cheese Me. Hello to Darren. Stroke Demon Sub. Hello to who have we got? Ewoks there. All in caps. Oh wow, calm down, Ewok. Jesus, mate. Salads being your nipples ever perky. Yeah, that's definitely Ewok. Spam and Egg, who is David's other half, for those of you who don't know. Yeah, and DI 1000 UK, who's a new viewer, I believe. Welcome to you, sir. Fantastic to have you with us. Hold on to your hat, because our live streams can be a wild ride. Oh my God. So yeah, for those of you who are new, we're going to follow our normal format. The first thing that we'll do is we will show you what we're going to be hobbying on tonight, or at least what David's going to be hobbying on. I'm going to be doing
What? Because you're a half-assed bastard.
Yeah. And then we'll chat briefly about the game night at our club on Monday, because we always do that, just to let you know just so that you know that we actually do game and we're not just fucking.
We have a social life, boys.
Yeah,
and girls.
yeah. That we do this for real. We're not just sort of like caricatures just for the internet. We actually do this. And I am not even getting into the chat. Oh my God. Paul, do you see what Pandy's put? It's nice they take turns.
You seen what Spam's just said?
I'm not. Oh dear, we are behaving.
Oh,
yeah.
Fucking Tim's going, don't you dare shout at me. Oh, fucking 5 minutes in and it's already
chaos.
Love you.
Awesome.
Guys, we know.
Okay, so yeah, then we've got a ton of news, because obviously we have no live stream last week, so I've got a few videos that I saw before Expo to share with you guys, and then Dave's Dave's
a
pulled
big
up some
acquisition
news.
this week.
Yeah, there's some big news. This is fairly normal though. UK Games Expo is one of those sort of landmark things in our industry calendar, and a lot of
Yeah, but
announcements
the
around it,
people
don't
in the
they?
news weren't there, and we'll come on to that
No,
later.
no. And then around 9 o'clock ish, probably, what we're going to do is we're gonna give you a little bit of an overview, just a long shot on our UK Games Expo experience. We've got some photos to share with you, and what we'll do is probably in future episodes we'll deep dive into some other things that interested us. But tonight's very much an overview and touching upon everything that we came across. I tell you what, mate, before we get into this,
We're skipping the stone across the pond.
before we get into this, David, actually, that's one thing I wanted to ask you. Have you got a copy of the floor plan handy, or something just as an aid memoir, just in case we...
I will have in a minute.
That's fine.
I've
I
got
just
to
thought,
dive out
I mean,
the room
we
for
obviously don't need it till later, but I thought it'd be handy to have just in case there was something we didn't get a photo of, or just to remind us so that we don't miss any of the
that. I
details.
think we got everything. But...
Yeah. And as Pandy has just said in the chat, we will also be talking about the painting competition. But we'll come to that when we talk about Club Night, because that's sort of associated with that, but extended to you guys in the chat. Or in our community. Do you want me to go
showered,
first?
or did I get the pressure washer? Well, shall we just do easily what I'm working on this evening?
Go for it.
Because
Hang
it
on a
is
minute.
nice and simple.
Yeah.
And then we can go straight into it.
Yeah.
So I waded my way through a bag of this shit, and we're now on to the second half. And I had to buy another bag, and this arrived today. But we're just finishing off the last of the trees. So I've got 5 left to do.
Cheese.
I've done six in the pre-show.
Cheese me. These are not the
And
only
then-
paints photos. These are the safe for work photos, mate.
These were what I was doing before I left for the con, and they just need sealing then at that point.
Excellent. So how many trees have you got to get through? How many have you got to get through, mate?
5 more.
Only 5?
5 more.
Oh, mate, you'll smash that
Only
out.
5.
You've got hardly anything to do.
I know I will.
So
You've
excellent.
got more to do than you have.
Yeah, I don't have any hobby planned, because I want to be sort of managing. What I've done in the past for you guys is basically just have a like a slideshow running without any kind of supervision. But that isn't really going to work for this. So I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to watch the screen and operate the stream and do hobby. So I'm giving it a pass. If I get the urge and things change, I do have a little project here that I could jump onto. Let me get this up. So I do have my Dungeons and Doggos.
That's not what you said at Expo, mate.
Don't join in, mate. Just don't encourage them. I do have my Dungeons and Doggos minis here. They're all based. They're all got base texture on. They're all primed. These are the one-piece sort of PVC sculpts from Steamforged. So the beautiful thing about these models is you just grab 5 paints and you just go for your life. They are so quick to paint. Base coats and slap a wash on. I mean, effectively they're like the same resolution as board game pieces. But if I feel guilty about not doing any hobby at all, I know it's not terrain, and our commitment this year, we try and do terrain as much as possible on stream, but I'm going to give myself a pass, because DI1000 says keep the dogs away from the trees or they may water them. That's a good point, mate.
I like the cut of his jib.
He's gonna fit right in. So yeah, I'm gonna give myself a pass, because actually I've decided I'm gonna make this my spring clean hobby challenge, which I believe you guys can correct me in the chat. So for those of you who don't know, I'm part of the Tabletop community, best community gaming community on the internet, bar none. And on Tabletop have a current sort of like an event running is the best way to describe it, where they call it the Spring Clean Hobby Challenge, and they do it every year. The idea is that you resurrect something that's half finished or that you've walked away from, and you
Oh, for
basically
fuck's sake,
finish it
Spam
off.
wants yet more credit for spreading the branches out.
Best house? No, cheese me, definitely not. Definitely not the best house. Okay, so yeah,
Do you know if Jerry found you your?
I don't know actually. I don't know if anybody. I left a sort of. I left a little surprise for Jerry. I didn't realize I'd forgotten about the end of UKG show, and I forgot that they'd be filming. But I actually took down a little message for Jerry because I had a meet up with the Dace off the on tabletop community, Chris, who's in the House of Truth, which is the one I'm in, which was fantastic. Yeah, that's it. The one man house meetup of yours. Yeah, that's it. Cheese Me's obviously heard about it, so I imagine it's probably been on the Discord. Maybe Jerry did get his message. But yeah, I just left it on a chair and said to this woman who looked like she was semi-official, I said, "Can you make sure Jerry gets this?"
And she looked at you like you just murdered 3 puppies.
Yeah, it's sort of like, because she thought I was going to, I think she thought I was going to gate crash the filming and run on camera. And I'm like, no, it's all right. I'll just leave this here for Jerry. I left it on a chair. Oh, dear. No, there were technically 2, Cheese me and Chris. So, you know.
Yeah, you can't have a one man meetup if there's.
Oh God, Darren's on it as well. I don't know. Ewok, House of Truth, more like House of Two. Rude Ewok. But yeah, this gives you an insight. If you're not part of the on tabletop community now, to become an otter or a cult of gamer, as we call ourselves now, used to be Backstager, but they've rebranded since then. It's what, 40 quid a year, guys, something like that. Just do it. What the trick is, Paul, don't be overly formal. Just basically, if you go up and say, "Oi, cunt," do you want to just see my game or what? That'll probably get the result you want. Unless it's Ben, in which case I'll just blink at you a bit taken aback. but yeah.
Anyone else is fine.
Truth. Oh God, Ewoks really going into it. So yeah, that's what we're going to be working on or not working on in the case of idle old me tonight. Let's have a chat about Monday night then, mate. So that's what you need to do, Paul. If you can find some anthropomorphic animals dressed in World War I uniform, stick them in your trench, and then drag Ben over. You'll be sorted, mate. Yeah. Or, yeah, dwarven badgers. That would be it.
Or dwarves versus badgers.
It looks like, it's all right. Paul looks like he's already got some sort of injunction. Apparently he's got to stay 500 yards away. Oh my God. So yeah, let's talk about clubs. So on the first Monday in every calendar month, we have a special event night at our club where the guys play board games primarily. We give the miniature games a bit of a rest. Because board gaming is getting to be a bit cool now. There's so many options, even for miniatures-based board games, that even as war gamers can get a fix of board gaming. So we are currently running a campaign for the Arkham Horror Living card game, which is one of my obsessions, of those of you who are regular to the channel might know. So we played the evening of day 1 for the Hemlock Vale campaign. So which was basically we mooched around the village, and then we
went to the mines, didn't we?
Oh Christ, yes, we played Indiana Jones in the mines on Hemlock Isle. Very, very cool scenario. I didn't get any pictures, sadly. But if you want to see what the scenario is like, if you put Written in Rock Hemlock Vale into YouTube. I'm sure you'll find a playthrough by Playing Board Games or some guys like that. Pandy, I think Pandy says I kept smelling their hair and following them around saying, "Pay attention to me." Yeah, did you lick Justin's head? Oh dear.
Ewok.
Monopoly.
Fuck off.
I'm surprised.
Actually, this brings us
Oh.
onto a realization, doesn't it? On the way home that we had an epiphany on the way home from UK Games Expo, because a certain manufacturer wasn't at the show this year. GW, we're looking at you. The Monopoly and 40k are very alike. You throw a lot of dice for 4 hours to basically end up where you were at the start of it, with not a real idea of what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, that's it. I think David described Monopoly as like, what did you say? It's like 4 hours of dice chucking to fucking get nowhere. And I was like, isn't that 40k?
Yeah.
Yeah, the granddaddy of gaming is the same for board games and miniature games. Oh dear.
They had a masturbate on the way home. Fuck off, spam.
God.
You child.
Oh dear. So yeah, we did that. But the other thing that we do at the first Monday in every month is we have a little painting competition in at the club. We had 3 entrants this week, which was Trevor.
This month, you twat.
This month. Week, month, they're all the same to me. My brain is fried.
No, they're not. Because if we had a fucking UK Games Expo every week, we'd be skint.
And dead. So yeah, this month, the theme was champion. So we had 3 entrants, Trevor, myself, and V. And so I'll show you some. And also we had 2 entries from our marvelous community. So this is Trevor's entry. This is Jack Daw from the Malifaux game. Basing is pending because Trevor's going to do his whole crew when he gets them all paid. I think he's got about 2 or 3 left, so he's really cracked on with this. He's got hardly any miniatures left to do. So this was his entry, and both he and I think it was, got first equal, didn't we, mate? I can't remember. To be honest with you, we don't really worry about positions and placing. It's all just a bit of fun.
Just be careful, because that can be sound clipped in so many ways.
Oh my god, this is getting to be hard work watching what you say. We don't worry too much about who. Oh, I can't even. I was just about to say who came first, but I'm not even going to say that. We don't worry about.
There's no winners and losers.
Yeah, that's it. There's no winners and losers. It's just about motivating people to get some paint on models. And the way we do it, the way we decide the winner is everybody who attends on the club night gets a vote, whether you're a painter or a non-painter, or it doesn't matter what capacity you're there at. As long as you're attending the club that night, you'll get to say what do you think's the best. And the public vote system, I think, works really well, because it doesn't mean that the best painter wins all the time. Sometimes people just look at something and think, oh, that's cool. And even if it's not technically perfectly executed, we get sort of like wild card winners, don't we, mate? People winning out of their feet.
People that capture the theme better.
Yeah. This is the entry from V. Now, what I don't know. Obviously, it's a GW mini, isn't it?
Is it out of an Underworlds box?
I think it might be a Slaneshi Underworlds crew. The colours are amazing. My favourite bit is that snake body with all those blended pinks and purples. Whoops. Hang on a minute. We've gone too far. Retcon. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Go back. Yeah, the patterning on that snake body's bloody excellent. So yeah, that was V's entry, front and back shot. We got the Lloyd shots, look, yeah, OTT all the way, and then this was my entry. This was this is just a scrubby little thug miniature from my Dungeons and Doggos inspired Frostgrave warband. But the reason I entered this guy for champion was during our last game when I played with him unpainted. This little bull terrier was the dog that could. He basically ended up crippled, poisoned, one action and just limping off the board, and he just got dive bombed by monster after monster after monster. And as is the way with Frostgrave, I just absolutely fluked the dice roll and he fought and killed off everything. So I thought, if anyone deserves the title of the champion, this little dude does. So yeah, that was my entry. And then we got a couple of entries from our community. This is from the fantastic Darren, or Demon Sub, as you'll see him in the chat. Go and check him out on Instagram. Darren's a prolific and very good painter. This is an old Mantic model, I'm guessing Demon Sub. It's got that sort of rustic resin plastic look. And I believe it's either a Dead Zone character, isn't it? From, I don't know which faction it's from. You can clarify in the chat. One of the problems with me running the slideshow is I can't actually see the chat at the minute, so he may tell us which miniature it was. And then the other entry was from Paul at Pandyman, who put these fantastic skeletons in. Again, are these Underworld, Paul? They don't look GW. They look too comical. But
Rune Wars.
Oh, that could be a good shout. Yeah.
Demon Subs was metal from Warlord Games Gates of Antares.
That's a metal. Ooh. That I am even more impressed by that model than if that's metal.
No, they are Pandyman Entertainment skeletons.
Oh, Paul's shilling his own shit in our painting competition. What the hell is going on? I do like that basing stuff, though, Paul. Did you say that was Vallejo?
Why are you a liability?
Is that one of the Vallejo textures, Paul? Just shout out for everybody, because that looks bloody killer. It's sort of like a almost
all killer, no filler.
It's almost boom boom. With a paler sand dry brush, that would look like shifting sand beautifully.
Right, yeah. The last tree.
So that's it. That was the painting competition. Thank you very much for Paul and Darren for entering.
This month's coming entry.
Paul's entry is bloody fucking marvelous.
Sleek,
yes,
isn't it? Sleek,
yes. So
and it will be judged for the boys and girls at home on the 4th of June, because we have to get ours in on the not 4th of June, 4th of July, because we have to get ours in on the 1st of July.
Okay, so it'll be the stream on the 4th of July. If you want to submit an entry for the next painting competition, do you see what club?
General election evening.
Iraqi shifting sands. Sleek, yes, Darren. Sleek. SLEEK. You got it spot on. We like to keep our topics vague and nebulous sometimes, because you could put anything in. Absolutely anything. Any way you can find to associate it. Yes, thank you for reminding me, Paul. I will not be forgetting to vote that day. I forgot the bloody police commissioners elections about 3 weeks ago, but I will not be forgetting that basket. You can guarantee that. What I'll probably do, though, I'm hoping the polling booth should be open plenty early enough. I'll go before work, not after. Because obviously with stream, I'm never going to remember. So that was it. Club and painting competition done. If you want to submit an entry, there's a couple
Guess what? We completed it, mate.
Completed it, mate. If you want to submit Infinity, that's a good shout. He's using Infinity miniatures for Bug Hunt. Oh, that's cool.
It could be
sleep.
worse. You could be using Warcry
Yeah, well,
miniatures for
do
it.
you know what? Cheese me, English is an odd language. We'll just leave it there. So yeah, if you want to submit an entry, there's two easy ways to do it. The first one is if you are part of the On Tabletop community, and why the fuck aren't you? Just find me on the On Tabletop Discord. I'm Warboss D. You as below. You can DM me a message, DM me a picture, which is how Darren does it. The other way to do it is if you want, there is a Gmail address, I believe it is, or it might be an Outlook address in the video description for the Yellow Belly Tabletop email. You can send an email, send an image, a photo to that email address as well. That's another way that you can get your entry in. And we will put them on the internet for everybody to coo and do over, as I say, in July. So,
Right. News o'clock.
News. Show me the news. Right. Okay. So, let's setting the curtain aside. We need to turn that off. Turn that on. 3, 2, 1. You're back in the room. Yeah. Let's have a
Somebody
look at
use a
some
real
of the. Tim, mate, how bad could it get? I mean, to be honest with you lot, I've just got to basically cross my fingers and hope, haven't I, that I don't get bombarded with fucking spam porn or whatever. Right, here we go. So I found, for whatever reason, I had a bit of a killer week just before Games Expo, and I found loads of cool little videos from people that I'd never watched videos by, and just little gems. This first one is called The Board Gamification of War Games by a guy called Ben DeHart. Now, I don't know much about Ben. It literally just came up in my feed, and I don't know whether they've sort of turbocharged the YouTube algorithm and made it a bit less dog shit than normal. But as I say, YouTube just seemed to serve me a little barrage of gem vids. This one, it's called The Board Gamification of War Games, and basically the guy's discussing whether it's, and I think his conclusion is that it's not really a good thing that modern war games are starting to blend with miniature based board games, and we're losing a lot of the old fashioned DNA of miniature war games, where randomness is embraced and the imprecision of measuring with a tape measure is embraced. We're getting so many miniature war games now that are moving to special dedicated measuring tools and that sort of thing. But it's a really interesting video. The gist I got, I think Ben's actually does. I get the feeling he's like us, and he's a guy with a foot in both camps. So he likes miniature based war games, but he also likes some board games. But it's a great food for thought video. So if you've got yourself it's only 8 minutes as well. It's the kind of throwaway video you can just watch at any time. I would recommend it because it was a great little video. This one was also in. I mean, again, these are the sort of things that I like, thought-provoking content. Obviously, Dice Tower is huge. They're a board gaming channel, and this is a sort of like an essay or a treatise by Tom Vassell, who's the guy who sort of set up Dice Tower, and basically it's addressing this topic that comes up all the time in the board gaming community, which frankly could apply just as well to us here in the miniature war game community, which is that there's too many games now. Hello, Crispin, because of Ben. Good to see you, sir. I don't mind them, cheese me, but as I say, his video is quite interesting. I mean, again, I quite like the way that we've streamlined game mechanics for modern games, and that we've taken some of the wonkiness out of them, some of the, like all the different permutations of dice systems we've got now with dice pool and different dice ranges and that sort of thing. But again, it is still an interesting video to ask whether there is something about a miniatures game that if we if we lose sight of it, do we actually lose the heart of miniature wargaming? As I say, it's a great video. Go watch it. Tom Vassal's video here is, again, it's the same thing, which is like, you've got all these people bitching and moaning about, oh, there's too many games now. But basically what he does is he goes through and breaks it down and said, yes, there are a ridiculous amount of board games being released at the moment. And there are good things and bad things about that. But ultimately, don't moan about it, because ultimately, as a consumer, you're just being given a massive amount of choice to choose the perfect product for you. And again, it's just a great video because he sets his stall out, makes a great case. It's 16 minutes long. It's really watchable, and I would recommend it wholeheartedly to anybody who wants to get into that sort of thing. Now then, David and I have both got a horse in this race, but the new model colour range is being overhauled. So David and I are both model colour fans, aren't we, mate? I use almost exclusively model colour. What are you? Probably about 60% model colour? Because you still use a lot of old...
Like 80.
Yeah, because you use more of the old GW stuff than me, and you're definitely more of an experimental painter with those sort of things, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very big man. I'll give him that. Ewok says Tom Vassal is huge. If you ever meet him in the flesh, he's fucking colossal. He's about as wide as he is tall as well. He's a big man in every sense. No After Dark fucking gags, by the way. I didn't meet him at Games Expo. But yeah, Vallejo, I think they've already overhauled the game colour range. So they've done a reformulation and repack.
They have recently.
Changed the livery. The model colour range is getting the same attention. So they're dropping 20 or 30 colours and replacing them with new tints and shades. And they are reformulating the paint. Because I didn't realise until I watched Starley's video here, The Tale of Painters, who is probably the premier paint reviewer on YouTube. This man is obsessive about paint.
He's doing God's work,
mate. if he takes a paint range and he absolutely puts it through its paces, he's a committed YouTuber. But basically, he was saying that the model color, the actual paint formulation, is pretty much unchanged from when the range was launched in '96. So it's probably due a bit of an overhaul with modern paint chemistry having moved on 30 fucking years. So yeah. And again, he says that he gets to review. I think he got given an early release set, 'cause I think it's July that they go to market. Correct me if I'm wrong. But again, if you are into your Vallejo paints, or if you're in paints in general, this is another fantastic review by Starley, where basically he goes through the new model colour and puts them through their paces. So, you know, another one that I would highly recommend you guys watch. Now, the only dilemma that I've got, in fact, we'll talk about paint later, won't we? Because we can mention that. Again, another one thrown at me randomly by my YouTube feed was this one by Let's Talk Tabletop. American guy, I think. He might be Canadian. Again, I have never seen anything by this guy before. But basically, it's a little food for thought video about our wargamers a dying breed. And the main thrust of this video is that he's speaking from his own personal experience that he's seeing a lot less younger players in miniature wargaming, and it's bothering him. You know, he's definitely seeing an aging of his own wargaming community that surround him. And it's basically just sort of like asking that question: is there something about miniature wargaming that we're not doing to engage with younger kids? And he's sort of asking, in a way, this one's one of those conversation starter videos. He's sort of like, it would be good to see some of the bigger YouTubers and that do response to this. based on their own personal experiences if they're in active gaming communities or whatever. Obviously, the problem with this is if you live in a very enclosed gaming community and it's you and two mates, you aren't going to be able to see this. But like if you have,
No.
say you're somebody who runs a gaming club at a school or a college, or if you're in a big city and there's like a large gaming club that's got a broader sort of like reach, maybe you could have an input with this. Is it do we need to worry? Are we all aging out? Is miniature wargaming going the way of the dodo? Ooh, scary thought. What's chat saying? To be
Instant
fair,
gratification is the thing that's causing a problem in every hobby.
yeah, I mean, battling the rise of digital is always, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it, Cheese Me? With digital products, you get so much return for very little investment. With these things, with our hobby.
Fucking hell, Pandy. Jesus.
Oh mate, that's brilliant. Quick, somebody clip that.
That got dark
does he like
quick.
does he like kids? I'm glad there aren't any quotes around that. His ex dead video. Yeah, it is. I suppose that is a fair cheese me. It is a bit clickbaity, but in fairness to him, it's only a few minutes long. So, you say, oh my god, the chat's gone mad. So yeah, there's that. Is there anything else? Oh, this was the last one. This is really more your wheelhouse, David. So once in a six side is a channel that David occasionally pushes a video at me going, because it's all this ones and zeros shit, which I don't really get. 3D printing.
You don't get digital shit, do you?
No, but this looked like a really interesting video because he was basically what he's done is he's testing this concept. You get a lot of resins now that are marketed as if they're like, well, if you've got a high resolution printer, you need a high resolution resin. And what he does is he basically field tests for a lot of these products and says, no, that's bollocks. You don't at all. And just because you put 8K printer on the bottle doesn't mean it's any fucking good as a resin at any resolution, let alone at 8K. And it's a great video. If you're into your 3D printing, you'll like this. If you're not into 3D printing, you might want to watch it just because it's a bit clickbaity about, what's the word? Distorted advertising in the industry and that sort of thing. But it's primarily of value if you are a 3D printer. And certainly,
Yeah.
if you're somebody who thinks that if you haven't developed, like I have, an overly inflamed cynical bone, and immediately you see some sort of claim for a product, you think, yeah, right, fuck off. You only want, you just want double the money for that. If you're not that person yet, watch a few videos like this and you'll very quickly will be. Now we're on to some of the things that you pulled up, mate. So the first one was Joseph's got a new game.
Joseph has got a new game. Yeah, Jesus. I didn't eat this, completely blindsided me. Dennis Deathship 1. Basically, you can play as any faction from history or near future trying to brave it out and survive on a spaceship, basically warped in time. We'll have to see how it is.
Just immediate thoughts. I don't like the art style. I don't know if this is the cover of the book and whether this art style is universal. I don't really like this monochrome comic book look. That's just me being a picky bastard. Joseph A. McCulloch, though, probably can't set a foot wrong. One of the best game designers currently in our industry. And, it's like, I mean, the image says it all. We've got Napoleonic samurai soldiers, and then this sort of like Starship Trooper looking woman, I think it is, at the back with a las pistol. So it's pretty universal. And then it looks like now this one's listed. I think this is listed as a solo or co-op game. So I think this is more in the vein of the 5 Leagues type game, which Darren, you're a big proponent of this, aren't you? Oh, okay. So Darren says the basic version of this game was in Blaster Magazine issue 4. Busted.
Fair enough.
We're doing sharp. Oh, Ewoks says apparently this is like a side hustle, rather than a main release.
I don't care. It's Joseph. It'll probably be good.
So Ash did a playthrough. Okay, good shout, Darren. Right, everybody, go to Gorilla Miniatures on YouTube, and you'll be able to find. Do you know what? Actually, I think I remember that, Darren, where he had to move through various rooms on a spaceship, and he had like 2 like long walls, and he had this like Z-shaped map. Yeah, Space Station Zero. That's a good shout for a parallel gaming experience. But
yes,
yeah, definitely one to look at because it's Joseph, isn't it?
Yep.
So North Star are gonna do miniatures to support it.
Yes,
okay.
They already are. Already said they are releasing some. There's a Cryptid and a couple of others.
A Slathek and a Drekil, which is basically tentacle thing and little fat robot thing, and a Riga and a Kaphid, which is like giant flea and weird tree man thing.
So the instructions for Archaon Studios told me to be careful when I cut out this bit. I completely threw them out the window and ignored it because the piece is just broken.
Which is that? Are you doing your dragon or are you doing your terrainy bits?
Terrainy bit.
Ooh. Right, I'll make sure you have to tell me which bit it is, then I can take more care when I'm doing it. What else have we got? Apparently,
it's the guy with the flag.
Apparently, Star Wars: The Deck Building card game has a new release coming out again. I'm not massively into it now. The thing is, it's getting really confusing now with Star Wars and card games, isn't it?
Because you've got unlimited.
Yeah, this is not that, is it? This is just their sort of like board game deck building game, and they're adding a Clone Wars. Is this like a supplement?
I would hazard a guess.
Yeah, it looks like it is. Again, I've not played this. I'm not really a massive into the Star Wars. This one might be more for you, Tim. I don't know if card games are your thing. Fleegs. Oh, Tim's done with his hobby. He's been doing his barroom brawl. Then we'll get varnished. Oh, because yeah, you're finishing. To be fair, you did do a lot of. No, as far as I'm aware, they haven't formally announced that Legion is being fire sailed yet. I imagine Tim's still holding on to his wallet just to get ready, because there must be stuff he doesn't own. Somebody shouted this out in the chat earlier. The guys at who did bloody Blood and Plunder. What's their name? Come on, help an old man out here.
Don't know.
Come on, guys. What's the company? Somebody will have said it in the chat. Firelock, thank you very much, Cheese Me. Well done, sir. So Firelock Games are releasing another game. So they've got Blood and Plunder, Blood and Valor, which is World War One. Blood and Plunder is sort of like miniature war gaming in the age of it's sort of like the late 1700s through to the like mid to late 1800s, isn't it? The times of the privateer and that sort of thing. A naval-based sort of game. Now, Blood and Plunder's quite large scale. You get full ships and all sorts of things. This looks like a little bit more of a compact skirmish experience with, like, I don't know, say 10, 15 models, maybe less. I did notice when I was looking at this article, mate, there are already demo games up online. Have you looked at any of that?
No, I haven't yet. I need to.
So that's on my list of things to do, to go and watch and see how this plays. I'll be brutally honest, on Tabletop I've done some fantastic tables and coverage for Blood and Plunder. And it's just by the sheer act of brutal will that I haven't bought into it, because the game does look very good. But this is yet another offering that might give us. This might be an easy in, to be fair. Lower model count. It's easy to justify picking up these sort of miniature games on an impulse, because they're not such a massive commitment. Or although I think you're still going to have quite specific terrain to get the feel right. Blood and Dominations. What's that, Toros? Are you sort of like spitballing, or is that actually a game that they've got coming? Oh, Blood and Dalmatians. I can't even read, guys. I'm that fucking tired. Does it play exactly the same as Blood and Plunder, Cheese Me? Yeah, and the thing is as well, not only do skirmish games, so Cheese Me says skirmish games always need a lot of terrain. I think as well, the thing is, we're not going to complain, because having a ton of choice in the miniature wargaming realm is not a bad thing. But we're starting to see, because the pool is getting so big now, a lot of these games come with quite specific terrain requirements to get the look and feel of what you're doing just right. And this is another one where I don't really own a terrain collection at the moment that would allow me to play this well.
No, neither of us do
So
we?
it's not. You see, this is always the dilemma with our hobby, isn't it, mate? It's not just about the miniature game you're picking up. It's like, what other work have you got to do alongside that?
What do I need to do for my terrain?
Yeah. Oh my god, the guys are now actually writing Blood and Dalmatians in the chat. It's a new skirmish game, one vampire versus 101 dogs. North Star are doing a bundle. Fucking hell. Ewok, please do the mock-up press shots for that and put them in the Discord server, because that would be fucking genius. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching. Now David's sort of like shoved it down my throat, I'm going to probably have to watch how the game plays, because as you guys know, that's my bag. Once we open the bonnet, what's going on underneath? If a game's got the coolest mechanics and the coolest feel, I'll play it pretty much, even if I don't really give a shit about the miniatures. That's why I was so upset about Star Wars Shatterpoint when I saw that.
In the fact that it was quite good.
Yeah, I was like, shit, this game actually looks quite good. I don't want to care about this fucking game. But no, it does look quite good. God damn it. What else have we got? This is it. This is the big news that David talks about.
Steamforged were not at UKGE.
But then again, they aren't normally, are they? I don't think I've ever seen.
They were.
No,
year.
actually, yeah, Steamforged were there the previous 2 years, because they were showing off that. Didn't they have like a board game with gods and something where you had like
God tier?
No, was it God tier? I thought they've
got
another
loads.
one.
They've done loads.
They do.
Anyway,
they like that sort of miniature-based board game, don't they?
Yes. They have acquired the rights for Iron Kingdom's War Machine and the P3 paints in the UK, by the looks of it, to help out Privateer Press.
I think it's a bit more than. I don't know if it's just in the UK, but I don't know if they've.
I think there's a two-way collaboration going on here. I think they're helping Privateer are helping them.
because the way I saw the article, it's almost as if they've picked up the design rights for these IPs, have they? So that they can expand them and do work on them as game systems.
Possibly.
But it's interesting. I wonder what this says for Privateer. I mean, Privateer have released a sort of like an associated press release. This is the one off Steamforged. So I mean, look, the Privateer describes Steamforged as custodians. So these people are definitely going to be basically managing these
Doing
IPs.
all of it for
They
them.
are, and the thing is, they've not just taken the miniature side of it, because they've taken on the role playing stuff in that as well, haven't they?
Yep.
So I don't know what's going on with Privateer. I don't know whether this was I don't know whether this is tantamount to like a soft takeover or what.
Cheese me, God Tier is a fucking awesome game. Absolutely fucking awesome game.
It is.
Take it from me and Paul that plays it.
I probably wouldn't rage about it just as much as David, cheese me. But that's simply because I don't think it's necessarily a game designed to my tastes exactly, but it is a very good game. Absolutely, it's a very good game. If just to stick some, and if you just want a board game with an excuse for some fucking cool miniatures, it is a good system. And I tell you what, you are absolutely spoilt for choice with the little box set releases that they do for it, and how you want to mix and match and combo things up. It's got, for very little cash investment, it's got a lot of game to explore, isn't it, mate? A
Yes.
lot of game to explore. So yeah, I don't know. Has anybody else seen any internet gossip on this? What's the? Yeah, that's what I thought. Toros being a bit. I wondered, because I wondered if this was all. Here's where my fucking conspiracy brain went with this. Obviously, Privateer went with this.
I was going to say, we've not long had a new edition of War Machine, haven't we?
Yeah,
and it flopped a bit.
Well, this is it. They went with this 3D print model release for the new War Machine products, didn't they? They, changed the release product so it was just like a box set. And I don't think nobody wanted it, and I don't think anybody was interested in it. And my conspiracy brain said they've had such a fucking mauling with the re-release of War Machine that basically this is a bailout, by another word, which is sort of what Toros is saying.
Because I'll tell you the other thing that I'm thinking when they're saying about custodians and helping is about Steamforged using their Chinese factories that make a lot of their Epic Dungeons stuff and their God Tier stuff.
That's true.
And all their board games, and using them to manufacture the actual minis for Privateer.
Yeah, because to be fair, because Steamforged do a lot, they've done a lot of Kickstarter releases with board games with like a ton of PVC minis in as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're almost like they're more almost like a cool mini or light. Cool mini or not light, aren't they? They're getting pretty good at doing these. They're getting pretty good at leveraging every ounce of quality and out of the PVC mold system that they can. And some of their, I mean, it's like the God Tier product. The God Tier product's pretty good and they are just cheap PVC minis, aren't they? Basically.
Yep.
Yeah, they do very much, mate. I mean, I had them on camera a minute ago. Considering these are dirt cheap one-piece PVC sculpts, I think they're pretty good. I mean, they're very cartoonish, and they're obviously of a particular aesthetic, but they're not bad minis at all.
No, they're not.
I think they paint up really well. Yeah, I guess. So DI 1000 UK says SFG just like getting a hold of licenses nowadays. What are the licenses? They do a lot of video game license pickups, don't they?
Yes,
Because that's where all
and
their all their Kickstarter games are.
they helped Crit Roll, didn't they?
Oh, of course they did.
With
Yeah, they did all the Critical Role miniatures and shit as well.
yeah,
Dark Souls. Yeah.
they are a little bit of a IP Hoover.
Yeah, no, that is a good shout, DI. Yeah, that is a good shout. So I don't know if we've got out left. We've got 5 minutes to go. There's just one other thing that I'm going to call news, and it's really just a bit of shilling. So we're going to talk a bit over the next hour about UK Games Expo, but on Tabletop was obviously the official media partner, I believe is the title that they get. Basically, these are the guys who spend all their time at UK Games Expo creating little snippet videos, showcasing products, showcasing games. If you want to watch a shit ton of video content from UK Games Expo, go to now on Tabletop have two YouTube channels. You have the main channel, but you also have this on Tabletop live channel. This is the channel that you want. You go to the playlists section, which I will do here live on the internet, and hopefully my computer won't die. And then here at the top, you've actually just got a playlist for UKGE 2024. So if you click on that, you've got you should have all of the videos that they filmed at UK Games Expo. Now, this does not include their live streams because I believe they go through the Twitch platform for their live streams. Some of you guys who are on TT fans like OTT fans like me can confirm that. So you'll have to go to their Twitch channel for that. But if you just like little bite-sized videos, 5 to 10, 12 minutes long, they're all here. Now you can find these videos embedded in the website, the main on Tabletop website, in blog articles and loads of stuff that they were doing throughout the day. I personally find this is the easiest way for me to just catch up and watch everything by just clicking on this playlist and then running through all the videos. So I'm just going to put that out there as like our parting shot. Oh, so are they on the main channel then, Darren? On the main on Tabletop YouTube channel? Friday is Twitch only. Okay, that's cool, mate. Yeah, yeah. Everything I clicked on in the live stream. Okay, Darren, that's fine. If I track it down. To be fair, I don't really watch the live streams because they run long, because they're literally streaming all the time the show is on. They fucking go bonkers long. But as I say, for the most accessible video content, that is the place to go for their stuff. Yeah, adverts are a thing, aren't they? I mean, that's, to be fair, that's the good thing about the little video list I've just shown you there. No adverts on any of that. Just little 4 or 5 minute videos with no adverts at the beginning or the end. You just get their jingle and their end screen. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, Darren. So yeah, that's it for the news, mate. Did we miss anything? Is there anything you want to go back and cover?
Don't think so.
So before we get into the UKGE show stuff, shall we show the kids at home our loot hauls?
We can do. Let me just throw that away and get my camera.
Yeah, go on then. I'll tell you what else.
Let me get my camera ready.
I'll tell you what else we're gonna do. One of my favourite bits of UK Games Expo was this. So, for those of you who are watching, this is not for the audience here because these people know what they are and they know who they are. But for those of you who are watching later on YouTube, our fantastic audience over on the Discord, over on the On Tabletop Discord.
You're going to encourage them.
Yeah, I know, but it was so funny. I just can't. I can't let it not. So let me do this. So
Don't encourage them. Don't encourage them.
As part of our UK Games Expo coverage, I posted a few Instagram posts with me and the boy David during the show, and literally minutes after I posted this on Cheesy's got it. Literally minutes after I posted this on fucking Instagram, some clever bastard, I can't remember who it was, was it you, Ewok, or was it somebody else?
I think it was Ewok.
It was Ewok. Went and posted posted this in the On Tabletop Discord server. Oh, so cruel. And I don't know how the fuck he. I don't know how the fuck he did that. Whether it was like some graphics AI pack where he just put the original image in and basically just got fucking Brokeback Mountain overlaid on it, but absolutely hysterical. Do you know what? That's a definite. I've been memed. I know I've made it. I've made it now as a celeb because I've been memed.
We've made it as YouTube's and shilling.
Oh dear, that was fucking hysterical. Yes, mate. So, yeah, shall we show people our loot hauls then?
Yeah, do you want to go first?
Yeah, let me go first. So, I'm not quite sure. This is all a bit impromptu, so I haven't got a fucking clue how I'm going to do this. I guess what we need to do is we need to go to my desktop cam. And then I'm going to have to probably adjust things and have this right in my face. Oh, so that we can actually see a bit more of the desk, because some of the stuff we bought was quite large. So let's
That's
have
what she said.
Not everything large I had to pay for though, guys.
Wow.
Okay, let's start with this. So
It fits on her desk.
So one of the things I said when we were going to get Expo was we're not buying any more miniatures games. We've already got too many miniatures games. We're just going to look for a board game. And David's already tempted me to get into Fallout already this year, so I don't really want any more games. And then we got this.
Mutant Zone Wars Year Zero.
Yeah, Mutant Year Zero Zone Wars. Now, this is a skirmish miniatures game based on the Mutant Year Zero IP. I believe it was originally... Was it a comic book or was it originally a computer game?
I'm not entirely sure.
But anyway, this IP is already established in some form. Free League definitely do a role-playing game of it. I think there's been a computer game. There's probably other things. But what drew me to this was the mutant anthropomorphic animals that are in this faction here. Now, I'm going to plead ignorance. I don't know what this faction is called yet. I haven't dug into the lore or the game enough to know. But this... I was just like, fucking hell. Now, in fairness,
we played a demo game.
We did play the demo game because we thought, let's not go in cold. What's our motto, everybody? Say along with us, try before you buy. And we had a demo game that was run by a lady who was very enthusiastic, but not particularly accurate in the way she ran the demo game. So after having taken the rulebook off her after the game and read it how it should have run, we were like, oh, actually, this game looks like it could be quite good if you actually play the rules as they're written rather than just sort of like
However,
playing half of them.
I do want to have a massive caveat to what Paul is saying here.
Yeah.
Free League, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Right? I bought the blue expansion that has 2 factions in it, similar to Paul's.
David, let's put everybody at home to the test, right? I'm going to show you guys. Get your camera ready. I'm going to show you.
My camera is ready.
I'm going to show you the front of this box. So you go to the table, and there's this box, and it's on the table, and it's described as Skirmish Mayhem in the Mutant Year Zero universe by Free League, and you've got these 2 factions, and you turn it over, and it's got pictures of the minis on the back, and it's got a contents list, right? Which you guys might be able to read if there's enough light. Okay, and then next to it on the table, let's just swap over, mate. See what your camera looks like. Next to it on the table, we have this.
So, again, Mutant Year Zero Zone Wars, Robots and Psionics by Free League.
Oh,
in a similar vein, we've got some blurb text, we've got a components list, we've got some pictures of the miniatures, etc. We've got the fact that it's made in China for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 plus, 90-minute game.
I'll tell you we'll discuss all that in a minute, Darren. Okay, so who can tell us, apart from the different factions and different models in these boxes, what is the difference? Answer: one is not a game. One is an expansion.
Has no rules, only a scenario book.
Yes, exactly. Cheese Me's got it. And do you know what? We did spot that one was a game and one was just the expansion to the game eventually, but I don't think that is particularly good packaging on the part of Free League. We guys can be a bit critical, and I'm just calling it now that is fucking shit packaging design, guys. When the only way you can tell that what you've got is not a base game is when you read the small print of the fucking list at the back. And you notice that one says, oh, look, it's got a rule book, and the other one says that it has a scenario guide. Yeah, so 0 out of 10 for fucking product packaging design. But in answer to Darren's question, let me get the minis out.
PVC.
There's too much cardboard and shit in here.
In a sundrop finish.
Let's get these on. Here you go, guys. Here's the miniatures. So they're one piece PVC. Like I said, like David says, they've got this sun drop finish. I don't know what this is. Some sort of like contrasty paint. What they look like is that they look like they've been dry brushed, but that's probably how this sun drop paint works. I think they are fucking awesome. And do you know, one of the things that made us pick this game up even though the demo game was a bit, surely that can't work like that. Surely cover's got more to it than that. We were a bit skeptical about the quality of the demo game. But I tell you what I've backed recently on Kickstarter, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles role-playing game. Which miniatures would be an absolute fucking shoe-in for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles RPG? Well, these little babies are right here.
And the other thing we really like about this system is to create your own characters is a piece of piss.
Yep.
Every model has 4 stats. 3 of those stats are numbers between 1 and 5. Divvy up 15 between your 4 stats. Have fun. Bye.
Yep.
That's literally it.
Yeah. It's a really lightweight little game. The rule book is, about 30 pages? 24 pages front to back. At the moment, another reason for us buying this is they were on offer on the show. These are £50 a box for either the core game or the expansion.
Which again is another thing I find egregious, that the fucking expansion, which doesn't have half the content of the main game, is fucking the same price. Free League, what the fuck are you playing at?
Yeah, Ewok TMNT RPG was awesome, innit, Ewok? I played it. It was my favourite RPG. We used to play it all the time at university in the late 80s, early 90s. I've already got the Crooked Dice Ninja Turtles, and I will be will be picking up more. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you. Oh, it's the Dice, I imagine, sir. Hello, great to see you, sir. So yeah, we paid. These are 50 quid normally. We paid 80 quid because we bought both together, the expansion and the Zone Wars base game. At the moment, this is all the product there is for the miniature game. I personally hope that they release faction expansions for this faction particularly. I will probably buy all of the miniatures for this. Even if I don't end up playing them in this game, these miniatures are definitely my bag. They are fucking
They're
awesome.
cool as fuck.
So yeah. Here we go. This one's a bit of this one I can show off for both me and David. So this was from Archon's stand at the show. Archon need to be given some credit here. Archon were selling their stuff so fucking cheap. This was, what were these, 30 quid, mate?
30 quid for 81 miniature bits.
And essentially, it's just
And Paul, just flick down to my camera because I'm
Yep.
building them right now.
Okay, cool, mate. Yep. Because David and I both bought a box of this because it's just great sci-fi and modern day scatter. You've got stuff you can use as infinity objectives. You've got turret guns. There is so much in this box.
Walls.
There is so much in this box. You'll be lucky to find this for 35 quid on the discount sites like Goblin and Wayland and Element. They had it for 30. They were undercutting the fucking discount retailers on the Archon stand.
They're nice.
It's Dave taking his halo off. I see it on the table shots, but he doesn't seem to be on his head anymore. I don't know if you're making some comment about my ring light or the fact that David...
No, I think he's on about this piece of shit that I can just blind you all at home with.
Right, okay.
Retinas, who needs them? No, oh fuck, I just turned it all off.
Luckily, that was on screen, so everybody saw your lighting going to shit. Okay, so yes, I bought this Ewok finally when Nightmares Come. This has a hysterical. Ewok's not mentioned it, but on page 4, just as you're starting to get into the game, you might be alarmed to discover what scale of miniatures you need. So
what Osprey's new 288 meter range of miniatures that they're doing.
We did ask Osprey when they were bringing out their 288 meter ring miniature range, and they told us to fuck off. Haven't read all of this yet, but it does look a very exciting little rule set for playing investigative Cthulhu styled miniature wargaming. I'll bring you more when I've played it in Cold Blood. This wasn't a purchase, but was a very kindly donated from Paul at Pandyman. This is Paul's first game, Threat Level Emergency Response, which is, it's like a cooperative or solo miniatures game based around modern emergency services. So ambulance, fire, police. You get wacky little scenarios. Like I saw there was one in here about some fire crew rescuing somebody from a river. And Paul gave us this. This is the third print. I think I'm right in saying, Paul, if he's still in the chat. This is his third edition of this. So
Scale creep these days.
Yeah. Yeah. So yep. I did get my board game that I was looking for. Get rid of the light. It's getting a little bit intense. So yeah, this was the
Well,
board.
it wasn't a board game, was it? It was a deck builder, sir.
Well, it's a board game. Stop being an ass.
No, it isn't.
So this is.
No, it isn't.
Oh,
it is not a board game. It is a
Shut
deck
up.
builder.
So this was the board game I wanted to get. I'm as you can. I want to get a collection of board games where I cover all of the major mechanic types, and this one focuses around deck building as the core mechanic. Essentially, think of a very fun, light version of
Ewok's attacking you. Also, it's cute that you think that he actually reads rule books when he buys them.
Ewok, I'm shaming you, mate, publicly. Like buying minis and painting them, Tim says. Such heresy. Yeah, I wanted a deck building board game. Well said, Cheeseby. And do you know what I bought? A fucking deck building board game. So yeah, got this. David was an absolute legend. We basically hunted for this bastard thing all day Friday. It's the most popular version of Clank. So hey, shock horror, it's fucking sold out everywhere. And then David literally goes and finds it with about half an hour of Friday to spare for 42 quid. I tell you,
At Chaos Cards,
42 quid. I'll have you know.
After they just told you at the other end of the stand they hadn't got a copy.
It is not Kaplunk, Toros. For Clank, think Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawling with a very light-hearted, fun twist. The name of the game comes from the noise that you make when you're
wouldn't
clanking.
say being mauled by a dragon and ghosts is a light-hearted twist. Just calling it now.
Look, just because you didn't escape and I did with all of my loot, I'm just saying. Stop being bitter. And the other thing that I knew I was going to get was some pre-painted MDF terrain. So when you're getting pre-painted MDF terrain, I say go fucking big or go fucking home. So I picked up the Tillinghast Manor from War Cradle Scenics. I got it right. I didn't call them TT Combat. Yay!
Fucking hell, are you feeling all right?
So I got this. This was 88, which is basically the same as War Cradle's online price. No mega bargain to be had, but it's a fucking stunning piece of scenery, isn't it? Can you imagine what playing around in this is going to be fucking amazing with our Mythos miniatures?
Your Mythos miniatures.
Titty combat. Tim, you're so fucking puerile. And this, and do you know what? Probably the only, well, I guess the Archon Studios was an impulse purchase, but it was so cheap. It was like, it would be rude not to buy it. And the other impulse...
And you didn't buy the Archon stuff till Sunday.
Me. The other impulse purchase was this. This is the tenfold dungeon. So this is specifically the Daedalus Station one. So what the tenfold dungeon is, they're basically pre-coloured cardboard trays, for want of a better way of putting it, that lock together using a series of clips and cardboard overlays to effectively create ready-made maps. And then when you want to pack it all away, they all nest inside each other and pack away quite easily.
Down at 40 quid.
Again, fantastic reductions on the last day of the show. I've not seen so many last day reductions as I saw this year. It seemed to be a much more common thing. But David and I got this with a particular project in mind where we wanted like a modern interior or sci-fi interior for a little game that we're messing about with. But we'll talk about that more on the channel when we've done a bit more with it. But yeah, that's me. That's my loot. That's my swag. So
Your swag. Should we go to my swag?
I think it wasn't a bad year. I've had more expensive UKGEs, so I think I
You
did
have
pretty
had
well.
more expensive UKGs. Let's make sure the lid's on my glue before I fucking do everything. So, starting at the top.
I get this phone
when
out
it
my
goes
face
on.
now. You're on, mate, on mine.
Pandy's Trench Offensive Verdun campaign book. So we're going to give that a go with the Trench Offensive miniatures that we've got. I then went to TT Combat, and whilst I was at TT Combat,
you bought something from War Cradle.
I purchased the Wooden Fish Market. So a nice set of jetties and a little platform set.
Can I just say now, can TT Combat stop with the terrain? Because their stuff is so nice, but it's so much fucking work to get it to the table. Can you just stop, guys?
Then I fucking Ewoks fucking derailed me. I have to pay the ADHD tax because I've lost my Drop Zone Commander cards, so I've gone and bought some new ones.
I've got some.
Well, I've got some.
You just don't know where.
I just don't know where, so I've gone out and bought another deck. And then we have Resistance and UCM Armor Group expansions. So they're coming to a tabletop soon. And then because I spent so much money at TT Combat, they decided to give me what can only be referred to as a man killer.
Oh, God, yeah.
Not a nice resin building. But TT, the fuck is going on here? Why is it solid and weighs 1.5 kilos? I could throw this at somebody and murder them.
I mean, I'm no expert in resin casting, but guys, surely there's a way to cast that and not make it solid. Surely that's not the most efficient use of resin ever.
So it stays on the table. Well,
it goes through the table, Tim.
Oh, and then oh shit. Well, the other thing that I was going to show you guys, I've just dropped all over the floor.
Oh my God! What the fuck is
that? We'll pick up some bits of it and we'll hope for it after.
Oh my God!
Tantalus AA.
Oh my God!
Walker, which is the exclusive mini from the show.
Is that what was in that blister?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my God! You haven't broken any of the resin parts, have you? You better have a look back.
No, they just all ended up and landed in my bin, so I can't empty my bin till I've been through it.
God! I feel bad for you now, but fucking hell, that was funny. Oh my God!
Right. So you've already seen Mutant Zone Wars, which is currently sat up here.
Yeah, we've done that.
We then went to Archeon City Ruins. You've already seen that. But while I was there, I bought a Dungeons and Lasers dragon. So Freya the Stormbreaker.
Oh, look at that. Tim says, fun fact, I've seen resin manufacturers use old offcuts to fill large buildings so they get rid of their waste sprue gates and the model gets massive.
And to be fair, I think they probably have done some regrinding in here because there is some grey bits of resin in the top of it.
And I suppose it's such, and for a business, I bet it costs a fortune to get rid of that shit because it was like environmentally unsafe waste, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's probably a good shout. Good. Ooh, nice one, Tim.
Then
I must confess, I cannot wait to see that dragon assembled. I really like. Did you show the people that it was all multicoloured sprues?
No, I haven't. Bear with me. Where the fuck did I just cut it? I had it. There it is.
For those of you who haven't seen any of the Archon stuff,
right? Archon.
oh god,
Lovely
he's
guys. I get a sprue with some wings on.
Yeah.
And I get one copy of that. I get a sprue with the body and some lightning bits on, and I get a copy of that in white. And then I get exactly the same sprue in crystal blue.
And obviously,
so in theory, if I copy this sprue, I get 2 dragons for the price of 1.
Just use the blue plastic bits that you need and stop being such a tight-ass obsessive. Do you know what, Darren? It's a shame that they haven't got that Gundam technology down, because they could have literally saved a sprue there. Because the only reason they do 2 sprues in that kit is because, like, the base and the lightning bits, you've got that choice to put them down as, put them on the model as pre-coloured clear plastic. Obviously, the other bits on the sprue, like the dragon's neck and that, you're not supposed to use those, but it's actually cheaper than just to press that sprue twice in 2 different plastics than it is to actually cut it as 2 sprues, I guess.
Then I bought a deck builder, Imperium Classics.
Which isn't a board game, it's a card game, because there's no board.
It's an
whereas mine has a board. So it is actually a board
game. building out your deck also has a solo mode. 8 factions in this. We demoed Horizons, which is their newest one that came out this year. And that's what caused me to get into classics, because you can use them all together, can't you?
Yeah, and again, who's that made by? Who makes that board game?
Osprey, surprisingly. No, and it's not a board game, Paul. It's a fucking card game.
So, I don't know about you guys. Maybe I'm naive, but I was like, when I was watching videos on, because that was on my.
And what I will say, the art on these cards is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, it's basically Sid Meier's Civilization, the card game, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a that was on my list, because I said to David, if I can't get Clank Catacombs, that's my second choice. And obviously he found me Clank, and then we said, oh well, we'll try the demo game because it's on the Osprey stand. And immediately he's like, yeah, I'm probably going to get this.
And the price isn't bad. It was what, 26?
26 for your one, which is the classics. The latest one is bigger. It's 52. Odd. I think it's 52 is the most expensive. I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it down to like 45 at one stand.
But yeah.
Then.
So
shall we give the guys at Mind Clash a shout out? Let me just fucking
before you do that,
getting this into picture.
Before you do that, DI1000 UK says, how does it expand with the other games? Do you mean the Imperium one, DI? Basically, each game you get like a universal or common deck, I think it's called, and then you get 8 different factions. So you get like Romans, Sumerians. I'll just pick a fucking
Celts, Vikings.
Yeah.
Each have a unique play style. It's asymmetric. So, for example, the idea and the premise of the game is to go through, cycle your deck through, taking out upgrade cards. Then you go from being a barbarian state to an empire. And then when you're an empire, you can pick and choose what cards you want to add to the deck. First one to burn through that entire development pile triggers the end game.
There's loads of different ways to trigger the end game.
Another way based on, there's some glory cards that are like VP trackers that you can go fish for. That's another way to win. And then the final way to win or trigger an end game is for there to be no unrest cards left in the deck pile.
Yeah, and the way it works is it doesn't matter which one you buy. It doesn't matter whether you buy classics or what are the others called, mate?
Classics, Legends, or Horizons?
Doesn't matter which one you buy. They're basically self-contained and playable as boxes. But if you buy two, you can play any faction from any box against any faction from any other box. So, like, effectively,
And it goes up to 4 players.
yeah. So you're basically just expanding the sort of range of different, so you can play Romans versus, because some of them are fantastical, so you can play Arthurian Britain versus the Romans if you want, or the
Atlanteans
versus the bloody
Romans.
Celts or the Vikings. So that's that they're not like, so you don't upgrade one with the other. They're each in freestanding products, but they do have a huge amount of crossover. So if you, yeah, exactly like Unmatched, same idea, mate. They're all playable as they are, but if you just mix the lot together, they're all universally compatible. You've got it.
Don't know how it compares to Seven Wonders because I haven't played it.
I enjoyed it way more than Seven Wonders, Ewok. I've only ever played Seven Wonders once, and that was when we were playing it 2-player. We were playing the 2-player rules variant, because I think Seven Wonders you need 3 as a minimum, and you have to have you have to have like a rules add-on for a drone third player. I enjoyed Imperium way more than Seven Wonders.
And we played it Friday night and Saturday night.
Yep.
We played 2-player Friday, 3-player Saturday. I played a solo game when I got home on Monday.
That's the other beauty of it.
It takes a little bit of wrapping your head around, but once you get in the groove of it and you know what you're doing with a faction, fuck me, is it cool. The other really beautiful thing about it as well is there is in the back of the book, if I can find it here, lists of how each nation plays and their difficulty rating between 1 and 5 stars. So the Macedonians are quite easy, the Persians and the Romans are quite easy that are off camera here.
And just so we're clear, that's a difficulty rating, not a strength rating. So the game's actually well balanced with the factions against each other. It's just that some are really easy to play as a new player.
And then you go into your legends that's got Arthurians, Atlanteans, Minoans, Quins, Utopians, Egyptians, loads of different stuff. And it all synergizes basically off these symbols here that are printed on the cards for different factions.
We're being called out by Tim for slacking because we haven't number one, we haven't crashed the stream. Number two, we haven't been at all salty yet. Although, mate, the Mutant Year Zero packaging fiasco, I mean, I would say that was sodium with a little bit of chloride on that. And we haven't made lewd comments at the audience. Again, we don't need to anymore. You guys are basically just filth. From the moment we come live to the moment we stop.
I'm going to move you right up there a minute.
Right, if everybody wants to grab some tissue, when David starts talking about this, you might have a nosebleed, so I'm going to get ready.
Voidfall. Rated 4.6 out of 5 for difficulty on Board Game Geek. And the main reason is all of this shit here. All of this lovely, lovely board state, and the fact that we have a token wheel with 5 different tokens that we have to match the production in each of our sectors that we own, and then we get resources in the right-hand side of the wheel, and then when we do a produced action, we have to adjust this side of the dial, and then this is your victory tracking dial that goes all the way up to 999 points. Fuck me. I've been umming and ahhing and on the fence about this for ages. I said to Paul when we were coming back from Dicini, I really want it, but I'm really unsure about it because of the difficulty rating. You say that, Ewok. We had a demo game of this, and hats off to Frank, the guy at Mind Clash that fucking ran it. We ran 2 turns of a basically 3-turn game. The first turn, he played out all of the cards for us and said, look, here's the card, here's what we're going to do on them, here's what the symbology and everything means. And then left us to it for the second round. He did a fucking hats off, excellent job on running and selling this as a demo game.
There's a guy called Frank, and the man deserves some sort of medal for actually being able to show that game to two complete noobs in what, an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. He did an absolutely bang up job. This board game is, you probably think it looks complicated. I'm telling you now, it's more complicated than it looks. It's a little bit, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it.
Hang on, bear with me a second. I'll go and get the scenario and setup.
I don't think we've said hello to you, Orinoco, and I notice you've been chatting away with the rest. So if I haven't said hello to you, sir. Mate, honestly, I don't know if anybody is watching from this company, but the Frank guy who was running the demos there, he needs a pay rise because he was fucking amazing.
Here's your victory point tracker that I was saying about. So you just roll these round to count up in ones, tens, and hundreds. This is your production wheel that I was on about. So this number here relates to your sector. And your population.
Ewok, don't tell him, don't.
This side relates to your production and what it'll produce, and then this side is like your storehouse.
He is so googling that after this stream.
Going up to 15.
He is so
I am. The rule books.
He was a fucking legend, Tim. You're probably right, but he was. Yeah, I mean, definitely as complex as Twilight Imperium. DDI, I would definitely as complicated as that.
Shall we go to the best bit? There's an A3 pull-out with all of the different icons and what they mean. But then we go to the compendium book that has like the scenarios in. Contents page. Right, here we go. For the boys and girls at home. Setup begins on page 10. We get to the tutorial game on page 22.
So
there's 12 pages devoted entirely to the setup of this fucking game.
12 pages of A4 just to set the game up.
Mental. It is absolutely fucking mental.
Yeah. But like David said, it is playable solo. So you about 30 minutes, Darren. 30 to 40 minutes just to set the board up with the scenario and everything. Yeah, I'm with you, Tim. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed my game of it, and I will definitely enjoy playing this round David's on our gaming nights on a Saturday. Would I ever buy a product like this? Would I fuck? It's way too much for my poor little old brain. Going to put that A3 pull out on the top of his head. That's a good idea. Yeah, you should do that, mate. You should put the pull out on your bedroom wall.
I'm not gonna say what fucking jumped to my mind right there. We're gonna just leave it there.
Okay.
Right. Shall we talk every other fucker through the background?
Through the background
of UKGE and what was going on.
Oh yeah,
and
right.
The other pictures and stuff we've got.
Let me get my slideshow running. Where what? Okay, pause. Right, get rid of your camera. Let's go on. Okay.
Darren, long setup is why he's only played 6 games of Core Space. I mean, again, I did say it to Paul. I do like a bear of a setup game like Arkham Horror.
I just got the pull out bit. Oh my god. I'm too naive for you.
That's why I said I wasn't fucking saying anything.
I'm too naive for you guys. It's so fucking bad. Right, okay. So, let's get this. I don't know what this first slide. I think this first slide is
Dorf
yeah,
Romantica.
because David was looking at
when I was trying to take the picture of it and see where it was to go have
by
a look
Pegasus
at it.
Spieler. Tell you what, there is a lot at UK Games Expo, mate. Dice, isn't there? Do you want some dice, everybody? I don't know what. This was something you photographed. I don't know. Did you just think, oh, cool dice?
Where's that? I can't
The
see it on screen.
D6 dice at Chaos Cubes.
Oh, yeah, this was me taking pictures for spam.
Oh, okay. And then this was a board game that you were interested in for your little lad, wasn't it? Diamant. I don't know if you ended up getting him that in the end. More
no,
dice.
I didn't because
right.
of push your luck shit.
I'll leave this up on the screen for everybody for a little bit because it'll give you a chance to catch up. Undaunted Callisto. So this is the sci-fi. Obviously, you guys, those of you guys here who are on Tabletop fans will have seen Jerry playing all of the Undaunted games on OTT. Well, Undaunted is going sci-fi, isn't it, mate?
Yes, it is. That's nice to know, Tim. I'll tell you what put me off getting Dorf Romantic was the fact that there wasn't really like a win con from what I saw based on the reviews and stuff that I had a look at the weekend. But I do like that style of game on the phone, etc. That's why I was looking at it as well.
Architects of Gloomhaven. Is he trolling us, or is there a game called Architects of Gloomhaven? There's no player elimination, but gnawing your own leg off is an acceptable strategy.
No, so Undaunted Callisto is coming, I want to say September this year, or slightly later.
That's, yeah, okay, that's really interesting, Tim. Thanks for that, because David was on the fence about it. And he, look, works great with kids. It's quite zen by the looks of it.
I might have to pick that up then. I might have to put a Zato order in this week.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tim. That's really helpful, mate. Go on then, tell everybody about Undaunted 2200 and why you're excited for it then.
Sci-fi deck builder! It's all that needs to be said. Fucking Undaunted in the sci-fi universe by Osprey. Art on these cards looks fucking amazing. The little mech standees look fucking gorgeous. It's an Undaunted game. Do I need to list any more?
I must confess, I do like the look of the Undaunted games when I've seen them played, but it's just another thing to collect and get obsessive about, so I'm sort of keeping clear. There's that Dorf Romantic again that we were just talking about. Taskmaster you bought for your other half. Now, what's this? These miniatures, where were these minis that you were photographing?
I don't know. I'm playing catch-up, sir.
Oh, of course you don't. Oh, I know. I know exactly where these miniatures were. I don't know. You guys
noted Ewok. I'll have a look for it after.
You guys might have remembered us talking about this a long time ago. This was probably right back when we first started live streaming in Scotland.
Tier.
So this is like a board game MOBA, isn't it? Is that the best way to describe it?
Yes, it is. It takes your MOBA tropes from the desktop and having your lanes of control and brings it down to the tabletop. It's a game you're not really happy with. Luca Club has this game.
Yeah,
You'll play it, but it's not exactly go to you.
No, I'm totally meh on it. We played it on Tabletop Simulator, didn't we? When the world.
Yeah, I've played it in the flesh as well with Luke since, because Luke's got this. I really like it. It's a nice little twee game. There's a lot of strategy in depth there, and knowing what you're going to play in your synergies.
But yeah, and I tell you what, they had a huge stand at UKGE.
They did.
A massive stand. I think there's a spin-off game. The one thing I will give them, the miniatures do look fucking gorgeous on it, don't they?
Yes. And the painting on these in particular is fucking
yeah.
amazing.
I can't fault the miniatures. The miniatures look fucking beautiful. And there is a lot for this game now, isn't there?
And there's I think there's 4 factions in the main box, and then there's, I want to say, another 4 in expansions for it.
There's a lot of shit
that come
there.
as like a two faction set booster.
The next set of pictures we've got, this looks like it was taken on the Modiphius stand. So we've got
yes, this is Cohorts Cthulhu, Fallout Factions minis, if there's some in here. And then Actum Cthulhu in the bottom. Not that there was any miniatures for that.
No, because that's an RPG game, isn't it?
Yes. Cohorts Cthulhu is currently live on Kickstarter at the moment. I want to say you're playing as Roman legionaries versus the fucking Cthulhu mental.
Yeah, I mean, like
shit.
you can see in this first picture, you've got like Roman legionaries with erupted tentacle heads. So you've got everything from this right through to full on Cthulhu Starspawn and
yeah.
classic bad guys like that. Now this next one there's a range of games that have got this Killforth title. So there was Shadows over Killforth and something else of Killforth. They looked like, I mean, they're basically just board games, but they've just beautiful artwork. Look at the state of that.
Card games rather than board games.
Well, yeah, Gloom of Killforth. This is one of the ones. This is what UKGE is great for. You walk past something, you go, "Oh my fucking god, that's gorgeous." I need to hit the YouTubes and find out what is this thing I'm looking at. So this was one that I've added to my list. I want to find out how this plays. To see if
couldn't. Yeah, just in a reply to Chris's comment.
Yeah,
we couldn't get a demo of Cohorts Cthulhu, but we have got the starter rule handout that you guys were playing the demo games from.
Yeah.
So at some point, me and Paul will be playing some Cohorts Cthulhu with proxy miniatures and giving you guys some feedback here on stream.
Yeah, as I say, because it was so busy at the demo, we just thought, fuck it, we'll take the free rules, we can muddle through something, and we'll get to play it that way. But look at this, mate, it's just fucking gorgeous. So yeah, I am going to be looking into this and finding out whether the game, because again, gameplay is the king for me. I don't care if it looks beautiful. If it plays like dog shit, I won't buy it. David's much more. You're probably a bit the other way, aren't you, mate? If it looks like dog shit,
yeah, I can make allowances for slightly dog shit rules and mechanics, but it has to look beautiful. And again, Voidfall, the demo game that I think is somewhere in these pictures, looked a lot prettier than the game that I actually bought under the table, because they wanted an extra 65 quid for the 3D minis, and I said, fuck you.
Yeah,
it's not worth 65 quid.
Well, it's basically doubling the cost of the game, isn't it? Just to add a few pieces of plastic pimping. We took a few pictures of the battle systems stand. As usual, it looked fucking amazing. They do put on a beautiful
slightly disappointed that they didn't have the shantytown stuff that I wanted for Fallout Waste and Warfare.
Yeah, of course. Battle Systems have a massive product range and they bring virtually everything to the show. But David wants the one fucking thing they didn't bring because that's how he rolls. Awkward bastard. Now then, this was okay. So we probably won't talk too much about this here, but I'm just calling this now. This is my biggest disappointment of UK Games Expo.
What's this?
everybody has heard me talk about Infinity by Corvus Belly.
Warcrow! Warcrow!
And how I think Infinity is probably the best miniatures game on the market. Well, Corvus Belli are now bringing out. Obviously, Warcrow's already had its. That they've already done a Warcrow release. What was it? Warcrow Adventures, which was basically
did the Kickstarter, didn't they?
Which is basically Corvus Belli does Gloomhaven, wasn't it? Basically.
Yeah, or Dungeon Saga
or
styling.
whatever. But I was really waiting for the miniatures war game, and slight spoilers, not impressed. Not
More on
impressed
that
at
later.
All. Yeah, absolute.
Because we will take a deep dive on this because it was crushingly disappointing.
Yeah, not a fan. Miniatures, yes, beautiful. But the rest of it, nah, not so much. Game severely let me down. I mean,
again, we couldn't get at the table Friday or Saturday. We had to dive and do that first thing Sunday morning.
I mean, the miniatures are beautiful. Just look at these paint jobs. They are fucking stunning. And all credit to them. If you played the demo game, they gave you a resin mini. Or 3D printed mini, was it? I don't know what it is. But they gave you a free mini anyway.
It's a Siocast.
So yeah, but yeah, more to come later. Not impressed with the game at all. What the fuck? Oh, this was Dwarven Forge. Holy shit box. So
first time of Dwarven Forge coming to the show, but fuck me.
Do you know what? This is another theme. We've only got 10 minutes to go. We better start buzzing through these. This is another theme. There are some beautiful terrain products being released now, but the cost of getting a table full of these terrain products is starting to get a bit fucking preposterous, to be honest. They are nice, but they are just too fucking rich for my blood. I mean, the Dwarven Forge stuff is beautiful, but the price tag is over. It's way out of my reach. Way out of my reach. Some shots of the Crooked Dice stand. They're fantastic. This is on my. We have to get some of this to the table. I now own quite a bit of several of the rule books and what have you for the new release of 7TV. So I want to get some games of this played. This is just sort of like a showcase in the range and of their miniatures. Notice the rip-off Thundercats car and the bloody Lion-O with surfboard or whatever the fuck he's got there. And then we've got like a dungeon setup with big-eared gnoll miniatures and skeletons and fuck knows what. Such a lot of fun, the 7TV stuff. Their stand was huge as well, which is really good to see because they're a company that seems to be going from strength to strength. The amount of product releases that 7TV have got now is fucking huge. What the fuck was this? Colony 87. Again, just someone.
That's the new stuff that's coming from 7TV, Colony 87.
Oh, is it? Fucking hell, it
yes.
looks nice. Okay. So this will be basically like what? Space 1999 and 80s and 90s sci-fi shit. This was a game that caught your eye, mate, wasn't it? Just a simple little card game with killer artwork.
Yeah, I'm playing catch-up, so...
No, that's fine, mate.
Yeah. I know which one you're on about.
I'll hold it until you get it.
Can't remember what the name of it is. Fuck.
No, I can't. But it's a...
Deep Regrets. Deep Regrets.
That was it. I'm
fairly sure.
And I think, it's coming to Kickstarter, is it? It's one of the...
coming to Kickstarter later this year.
But yeah, you were really entranced with the artwork on this, weren't you? It does look good. I'll give you that. Again, not taking itself at all seriously.
No, push your luck fishing game, but the art was beautiful.
This is another one of your favourites. I always forget the name of this company. The guy you bought stuff off last year, something, and you took your models back because they had faults. What the hell?
Modular Worlds?
That's it, Modular Worlds. Well done. So, Modular Worlds, they produce beautiful 3D prints, really unusual miniatures. Everybody can guess what this is. The big blue D4s give it away. The Moonstone had this new table on their stand. It's like a harbour scene. Just off screen left, there's a whole sort of like jetty area with ships moored up. Such a beautiful table. Absolutely amazing. Here's the Mutant Zero. We've already had a rant about that. We won't talk about it too much more. More shots of Warcrow. Again, beautiful table, beautiful miniatures. The game was fine.
Lackluster
whatever.
game.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look, some dice with lots and lots of silly symbols on. Great. That's going to work out well. Could they have got the font a bit smaller on that card, do you think? There's a couple of people who...
Don't get salty. You'll spoil it for all the boys and girls at home.
Fucking hell. Some great shots here, mate. You did a good job photographing it. I'll give you that. Oh yeah, we've seen some of these. More. We had a second pass at this, obviously.
And you missed the important thing when you said about Moonstone.
What about it?
The fact that it's multi-award winning.
Oh, sorry. Slap my wrist. The multi-award winning Moonstone. Where is this ship from? Oh, this was the fucking Carnivale stuff. Oh my god, yes. Look at you could. Oh my god, some of the Carnivale stuff is just amazing. Go the other way, Paul. That little diorama.
They did win People's Choice for minis.
Did they? And good, because the actual Carnivale miniature range is getting fucking insanely good. That little diorama with that gondola being dragged down by the tentacled monstrosity is amazing. That ship had got all. That's one of the ships.
LEDs in the deck. It was the dock. It's the Doctor's ship, and it's got all LEDs in the bottom of it in the deck area.
Yeah, they've pimped out the rigging and put LEDs in it. Put the sails on. Absolutely far too much effort gone into that. It's disgusting. These are some of the Rumble Slam minis. Again, this is another game that keeps turning my head. I keep thinking, oh, could I get into that? It's not helped by the fact that one of my grandsons is wrestling mental, so I wonder if it might be a way to get him into the hobby as a first step. But yeah, some more shots of that gorgeous ship. That's the Strigoi mega model for Carnivale, which
Strix,
absolutely fucking amazing. I will have to buy that.
And has fucking mentally amazing rules to match him.
It's
costs
just
40 ducats though.
Yeah,
so he is an expensive boy.
He is a big boy, not for your small games.
He'd be terrifying at small games.
And bizarrely enough, this is another new release because one of my plans at UKGE was to buy a new faction for Carnivale because currently I've got more Strigoi than I can shake a stick at, and I wanted to get some more models, and I've decided I'm definitely going Vatican, and we spent the journey down in the car and a bit of time in the hotel on Thursday building a list, and then I turn up at the event and suddenly, hang on a minute, what's this fucking guy on a horse with these weird, and it's like, hang on, these are Vatican. These aren't even on the website yet. What the fuck is going on? So plans may have changed on my Vatican army. I think I will be buying different models to my initial idea because these look as cool as fuck. So yeah, absolutely amazing.
One thing I will tell you, Paul, based on the rules that we have seen,
yes,
they don't swim well.
I don't know if Chris is still in the chat. This is the House of Truth meetup, and there's our message. There was our message to Jerry. dear. That was funny. What the fuck is this? What was that, mate? I don't know what the fuck that is. Somebody's. Oh, hang on. Was this the Cyberpunk game where the guy had left and took all his miniatures because he sold
Yes,
out?
it was.
Code. What was it called? Code something?
Don't know. It was up for an award.
I think these are some shots of Black Scorpion's cabinets. Looking at the labels. I think.
Well, we could only get near them on Sunday when half of it was
Oh,
already
mate,
sold out.
his stuff was, yeah. That hence all the little sold out stickers. His. Now this was rather nice. This company's been featured on several. I think OTT covered these guys. Or no, they did the guys that were doing the plastics. I don't know if they did this one. These are basically 3D printable hex terrains for building these incredibly detailed maps. Again,
Hexton Hills, I think these are called.
yeah, Hexton Hills. That sounds familiar. I mean, it looks fucking amazing, but the amount of work printing it, painting it, and if you were to buy them, the cost, oh my god, it's ridiculous. But it's a great looking product. I don't know, it's just such a money and time sink. I don't know as it would be necessarily, again, even if you're doing it for a D&D campaign, how much time on your hands would you need to just do that for a map for a D&D campaign? That's beyond me.
To be fair, though, the guy on the stand did say how he's got around it for his D&D campaign was just fucking rattle can everything Xandri dust and apply a wash.
That's true. But it's still, you've still got to print.
Because then it looks like
stuff.
parchment, but yeah, you've still got to print the fuckers, clean the fuckers up.
And they'd actually magnetized this as well, hadn't they? So like some of the features were removable and you could place replacements in with magnets. So yeah, really nice looking. But some more shots of some of the TT Combat miniatures. They do a lot of halfling armies. This is their 40k Imperial Guards Me Too army, which is such a lot of fun. They do fantasy ones as well.
Half guard, yeah, they do some giants.
They're fantastic giant miniatures. Yeah. This is again, this has been teased on Tabletop. So obviously, they're renowned for. They do the Drop Zone Commander and Drop Fleet Commander universe games. Now they're going to bring out
TT Combat are doing Strike Team Commander.
Yeah. So they're doing basically a Kill Team style 28mm skirmish version game set in their universe for Drop Zone Commander, which we're looking forward to. David particularly is looking forward to that. Yeah, that was it. Code Black, Code Blade, something like that. Oh dear. Yeah, you've got 3 halfling armies. You might have more than Jerry Ewok. Although that's touch and go. This was a fantastic little display piece of a collapsed building. No rules or anything yet to see, I'm afraid. Just this rather cool little diorama piece. But it does look good. Again, what do I want to see, guys? I want to see how the rules work. How are we doing? How are we bringing the game to life? The models are cool, and all this fancy display stuff is very cool. But what's the game actually like? That's what I want to know. And I think it's going to be a while. Now then, these were new models for. Are these actually for that game? These are for that game, aren't they, mate? 28mm.
No, which ones?
Are these walkers for that, or are these walkers for drop? No, these.
Those walkers they're the Janus small walkers for Strike Team, I believe.
Yeah, I thought this whole shelf was Strike Team stuff, wasn't it? These are all Strike Team miniatures. We've seen some of them before as event exclusives, like the Scourge guy. But there is some. Obviously, these must be their playtest prototypes and photography pieces. But there's some fabulous miniatures here. New faction for Drop Fleet. Not a game that captured my attention, but it does look beautiful. I admire the look of it. I just didn't enjoy the game that much. I found it a little bit fiddly.
Yeah, it's a bit meh.
All that pissing about controlling your altitude and that. And given the actual experience I got, I found it was too much effort for not enough game. One-page rules were there. 3D printing was much bigger at UKGE this year, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah, we had Titan Forge, OPR, My Mini Factory, and not Game Found. Only Games?
Yes, that's the people who do the prints. Yeah.
Print your own. The biggest thing that I'm hyped to see is what Fohammer's recently done a video on. He did it while we were away at UKGE about these pre-color minis.
Yeah.
So they're printing them pre-colored in the support material, and then you just get them and they're ready to go.
We were lucky enough. We're running a little bit over time, so we'll give it another 5 minutes and then we'll call it for you guys. We were lucky enough to hook up with the guys at Scythopian Wars again. They had some great models on display. They are looking to relaunch a Kickstarter again later this year, I believe, with a 3 factions instead of the 2 and a whole new range of models, some extensions and add-ons, all of the things that people need to capture their interest, because you can't just do a simple Kickstarter anymore. It's got to be everything in the fucking kitchen sink in it. And although this was a jolly for us and not a working trip, we did film a demo game for Scythopian with these guys. So in the next week or two, I'm hoping to get that up on YouTube as our one of our videos for
Feature
UKGE. As usual, TT Combat had some fantastic table deals.
Night, Darren.
What's Darren said?
Night,
Darren. TT Combat, as usual, had some fantastic table deals on terrain. 4x4 table crammed with fucking terrain for 100 quid. These are the shots of the Mutant Year Zero game, the demo game. This is the stuff David's talking about. Archon Studios are really experimenting now with this pre-colored terrain. So the one in the left is currently available. I think it's called the Dwarven Mine Pack. But
yes, it is.
I overheard the guy who's on the stand saying that the other one, the next one that's going to be released, is the one that's like a grey-greeny colour in the top centre. That's going to be the next of their pre-coloured launch ranges. But they are going into this pre-coloured stuff big style. And we were just saying a minute ago about how expensive this stuff. The dwarf pack from them was 55 quid. It was so cheap for what you get. If this becomes a big range, this is something that I will be very interested in. Very interested in. Because you literally just unpack it and go. And it looks like this. It's like, yes, fucking please. I'm all about that shit. Gamers Grass were at the show. Fantastic to see them. Not a typical thing to see at UK Games Expo, really. People selling terrain accessories and that sort of thing. But they've got they've got these box sets of tufts of all different sizes and colours, which I think is a brilliant idea, because you just buy the box and everything blends together and looks great as a set. For somebody who's a bit
really good value if you're going to do like a table with some terrain on, or you want something to match your armies into the table you're making.
Yeah, and also if you're a bit of a noob at all this stuff, you don't have to sort of like sit there with analysis paralysis and say, oh, which tufts do I get? Because they'll say, here you go, here's a range of 4 or 5 colours and 5 or 6 different sizes, and just go with these and they'll all work together and they'll all look great. Such a good idea. They had some beautiful. This is the thing that the other one. This is called Hex something. This one is on tabletop.
That's coming to Kickstarter late this year. That's
But again, we
line printed.
Oh, it's all hard plastic with a screen printing on the top, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
But again, looks fabulous. How long does it take to put that together? And that costs about 600 quid retail for all that. Because we got the bloke to work it out. So that's 2,000 tiles, about 600 notes for that. That's a lot of money. I don't spend 600 quid on a 4x4 table of terrain. If I did, I'd spend 150 to 200 and think that was fair for a 4x4 table, don't you think, mate? But 6, no way, that's way too pricey. Beautiful though it is.
It's only hexes and elevation. There is no actual cover or anything on that. It's just
yeah. I mean, that's another thing again. And again, you've got to absolutely love that hex style. Personally, I don't, but you know, I'm not knocking it. It looks good, but it's too much money, too much work. Surely there are easier ways to build tables.
Monday that was on screen.
Yeah, Mapper Monday. Do you know what though? We're just going to say, so Mapper Monday is a role-playing game from 3 Sales Gaming. Go and check it out because it's now 10:10 and we need to knock it on the head because otherwise we're going to be here all night. I think that's been a bit of a beast of a show, guys. Thank you very much. Hello, Shakos. I don't know if you're late to the party or whether you've been lurking. Yeah, those hex tiles.
No, he's not long back from his club.
Oh, okay. Shakos, yeah, we spoke to the guys on the stand because we had the same idea as you. We were looking at this layout and then he was saying you get 50, was it a pack of 25 tiles for 15 quid? And we were like, okay, so it's 15 quid for 25.
No, I think it was a pack of 50.
50 for 15 quid. That's right, 2 sheets of 25. And we were like, so...
And we're like, right, what's your coverage? What you got here on the table in front of you? Oh, well, we've got about 2,000 here. They were meant to count them as they put them out, but they forgot to count
them. Look at Ewok's comment. Great show, everyone. Frankly, I was amazing. Oh, dear. Yeah, do you know what, Ewok? I'd like to say you were wrong. Sorry, mate. Carry on.
So yeah, when you sit down there and work it out, that table was like 600 notes.
Yeah,
for
600 quid.
Tiles that were there.
And it was what, about 3x4?
Something like that.
Something like that. Again, a lot.
And again, completely missed opportunity. That they didn't have blank risers. The fact that you had to stack stuff as singles.
Well, yeah, but it's like he said that because I mean, in a way they addressed the blank riser question by saying actually the printing doesn't cost anything. It doesn't matter what we print on it. It costs the same amount. So I imagine it wasn't worth their while making blank ones. Because they were
but for the height of the board, it'd be nice to have some risers so that I don't have to build.
Oh, so that you don't have to build it. Yeah. So you don't have 6 tiles. I get what you're saying. Mate. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
I don't mind the fact that when they're UV printing on them, it's so cheap that it makes sense for them to print on it. But it's the fact that I have to stack fucking 4 tiles underneath it to get somewhere near to the height I want that I'm like, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, now I've got to stack 6 things on top of each other where I could just have one. Tim does say there that you need a lot less for Battletech, and he's actually quite looking forward to that. Okay, you'll have to let us know whether it's actually... Well, you'll probably talk about it on your stream, Tim, but... As I say, I was just like, no. Right. I guess we better wrap this up properly, haven't we? Let's get that ready. So, thank you very much for watching. guys. We hope that was a taster for you for UK Games Expo.
Sorry that we sped run the shit out of it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, sorry we sort of like overran a bit, but do you know what? It was a monster show this year. We will be talking about it in coming weeks, so don't worry. You haven't heard the last of UK Games Expo, and we'll probably be deep diving on some of the other stuff that we saw, and at least you got to see our hobby hall. So, thank you very much to these guys in the chat. Thank you very much to everybody here who watched us tonight, and will watch us again later on YouTube. If you can only do one thing, please click the like button. It only takes you a second, and it means a massive amount to us in the YouTube algorithm.
Ewok, watch your mouth.
Oh, what's he doing? It's like a... What is he talking?
In reply to spam saying she better get out the bath.
Oh dear. No, mate. No, cheese meat. I wish it was. But sadly, no. It was just too much being an old fart.
And being up until stupid o'clock on Thursday night sharing metal songs with drunkards.
And having to get out of bed every morning at 7 a.m. so that we could fucking get to the front of the queue for the demo games. But we'll talk about that another week. Right, guys. I'm going to go and fall face unconscious on my table because I can't, frankly,
we completed it. We completed it, mate.
Yeah, Expo, completed it, mate. Done it. Right, see you guys next week. Have a good...
Bye.